Hi everyone, welcome to a tutorial on the Pest and Weather System, or PAWS, website. So this platform offers access to Ontario weather information as well as growing degree calculations to model crop and pest development. It has multiple tools available, and today in this video I'm going to go over some of the tools that are accessible through this site. So when you first open the page, you'll see this landing page here, and at the top there are different tabs that you can navigate through. So for example, there is an instructions page, and then there are tabs showing different dashboards or other information tools, as well as here at the right, a feedback tool if you have any questions or feedback to submit. So in this tutorial, I'm going to say that I'm looking for some crop information and I want to navigate to a dashboard and download some data. So first I'll start by going to the crop tab in the main website. And now once I've clicked on this, you can see there is a quick snapshot of growing degree day data for different growing degree days. And this just shows the accumulated growing degree day up to the most recent date of data. And you can scroll through and see. And here on these buttons at the bottom, you can click and it will take you to the associated dashboard to show you more information. So let's say I'm interested in the growing degree day 0. That's starting on January 1st, and this is for cereals. So I'll click on this button and it will load the dashboard. I've already loaded it, so I'm just going to use that tab. So here you can see this is what it looks like when you first load into the dashboard. So I'm going to quickly go over some of the different elements and then do a quick tutorial on how you can use the dashboard. So first here on the top left hand of the screen is the map, and this map displays the locations where the data is being pulled from. So you can pan around, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, and you'll notice that as you move around on the map, the data in the dashboard changes. So the data changes to reflect what is visible in the map. And you can always just zoom back out and it will now show the average of all the sites that are visible. You can also click on each location. Doing so will bring up a pop-up. It will show the most recent information for that location, as well as allowing you to go backwards and seeing some more previous information. Again, as you click on a location, it will update the data on the dashboard. So that is the graphs and the indicators here. So you can click on another location. Again, the dashboards will update and show you the information for just that location. Alternatively, you can go up to the top left here. This is what's called a lasso tool. You can click on it and you can draw a shape to select more than one location at once. So now this is showing the data for Northern Ontario stations. And to clear that, you can just click the X here. Moving on from the map, below the map here are two indicators. So these indicators are showing quick snapshots of information. The one on the left is showing the accumulated growing degree days up to the most recent date of data. And the indicator on the right is showing a weekly average of the daily growing degree day values. And again, these indicators are saying that you can use the location for more precise values as they are showing an average across the entire province. Next on the right are the graphs. So these graphs are showing both the accumulated growing degree days data and daily growing degree day data. So what you can do here with these graphs is you can hover over the lines and it will show you exactly what value was on which date. You can also go down to the legend here and you can click different values on and off. So you can only look at 2025 data, or you can look at 2024 and 2025 data. And you can do this for both of the graphs. Additionally, each element in the dashboard can be expanded. So for example, if you may have a smaller screen and you find it's difficult to see, you can go up to the top right and this little indicator here will show up. You click on it and it will expand the graph to be full screen. And then you can click on it again and it'll go back to normal. The final element I want to talk about is the table. So you can see this tab here behind the map. And now this is a table of all of the data that is available in the dashboard. So you can scroll through and see all of the data. Additionally, you can download the data. So by clicking on these three dots, you can see here it'll say download source data. So as you click on that, it will download an Excel file. So if I was to download the Excel file, it would look something like this. So it would show all of the data that is in the dashboard, and you can do with this what you would like. The next thing I wanted to go over with the dashboard are these filters in the top right of the screen. So there are three filters available: a date filter, a month filter, and a location filter. So starting with the date filter, you can click on it and you can enter whichever day you'd like. So for example, if I want to look at the most recent week of July, I can click on July 20th all the way to July 26th, and it will update all of the data. And then down here, you can just hit reset to bring it back to normal. The reason there is a month filter as well is because, as you may have noticed, when I clicked on the data from the date filter, it only showed me 2025 data. So if I was interested in looking at data for July across all 3 years on the graphs, I would come to this month filter and I would type in July. So I would set the minimum and maximum. And now you can see that these graphs are only showing me data for July. And then I can clear to bring it back. And instead of clicking locations on the map, you can also use a location filter. So you can select locations more than one or just one location. You can also reset. Automatically, it is displaying the information for all locations. So where these filters come in handy is you can use them to filter the graphs or the table. So for example, let's say I want to look at the Guelph area. So I can filter out and say Guelph, I want to look at Elora, and I want to look at Kitchener. So I have chosen these three locations, and you can see here on the map, only those three locations are being displayed, and my graphs have updated, and as well, my table has updated. So what this does as well is now I can download filtered data. So I can go to my graph, hit these three buttons, and here, if I click download source data, this will download all of the data. But if I click download summarize data, this will show the data that is applied through the filters. So once I click that, it will give me an Excel file, something like this. And it will show me the date. So in this example, I was looking at the month of June. I can see the date. I can see the growing degree day running total for the 10-year norm, 2024, and 2025. So that is an example of how you can use these dashboards. You can use the filters to look at different months, different dates, different locations, as well as you can download both the summarized data and the source data. So there are more than one dashboard. This was an example of a crop dashboard. I'll just quickly show you some of the other dashboards. They all have very similar layouts. So for example, this is a dashboard showing seed corn maggot information. So this is the growing degree days for 3.9 degrees Celsius starting on January 1st. Again, you can see it looks very similar. There are the three filters. There is a table as well as the indicators and graphs. So what I had shown in the tutorial for the serial dashboard applies to this dashboard as well. And again, these are accessed by going through the main PAWS page, clicking on the tab you're interested in, and then clicking on the dashboard you would like to see. Additionally, there are dashboards for weather data. So there is a precipitation and a temperature dashboard. So I'll just go over those really quickly as well, because these ones do look a little bit different. So firstly, this is the temperature dashboard. Again, the layout is very similar. You can see a map here, which updates based on temperature. So the colors will change from blue to red depending on what the most recent data is showing. There are indicators showing daily averages, weekly extremes, and you can see here there are tabs that you can click on which will show other indicators. As well, there is a table of data. And over at the right, there is a graph. And now the difference here is that there are multiple graphs, so you can navigate through the tabs at the bottom to see average temperature, minimum temperatures, maximum temperatures. Sorry, this is maximum temperatures based on daily data or averaged monthly data. And again, this data is showing an average for the entire province. But if you were to click on a location, it will update and show the data just for that location. You can also use the location filter as well, along with the monthly filters or the date filters. And there are also guides attached to every dashboard, so you can click on this link at the bottom and it'll open a new tab and it will show a reminder of what each of the different tools do. So that can come in handy when you can't remember exactly how each tool works. And then lastly is the precipitation dashboard. Again, the layout is very similar across all dashboards. So here is a map showing precipitation data. You can navigate to the legend to see what each of the different colors mean. There are indicators as well as different graphs showing different information. There is a table of data, and all of this data is also available to be downloaded by clicking on the three dots in the top right corner. You can use the filters as well as expand any of the elements to see them in full screen. Lastly, if you would like to return to the original PAWS website and perhaps you close the tab, you can click on this home button in the top left side of the screen and it will bring you back to the main site. I hope that this tutorial was useful and gives you a better understanding of the tools available in the PAWS dashboards. If you have any feedback or any questions, you can use this feedback tool in the top right of the main website, and it will bring you to a survey where you can give any of your feedback or report any issues. Thank you again for using the PAWS dashboards. I hope that the websites provide useful data for your work.